Hello and welcome to iExplores. Today we're going to do streets number 11, or Grimsby Streets number 11. Today I'm on the East Marsh. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of East Marsh now, a few streets around here during the next few videos, and I'm going to start this right now, so let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to start this video. We are on the East Marsh and I'm currently stood on Rutland Street. Now over there used to be a school, where them trees and that are there. Yeah, there used to be a school on that corner. So we're going to go off to the left, and to the left of the school down there was a church called St John's. And next to that there was an assembly rooms. Now these are the maps I've got this information from, was 1933. So you can see well before the war and everything else. So we're going to walk this way. So we'll come out of Rutland Street. Now just here is approximately where the church stood and the assembly room. So like I said, we are going to walk up a bit further and we're going to go down Stanley Street where there was a club down there. Now according to what used to be called the Excelsior, I think, because I remember seeing it when I moved up here a bit ago. So if I've got that wrong, or if anybody knows any of the names of it previous, that would be great. So let's keep going up to Stanley Street, which is in this direction down there. Okay, so now on Cleethorpes Road, just before we turn down Stanley Street. Now all these here, you see across the road, everywhere was houses, loads of them. All in this area was houses, plus up and down here we had the trams as well. So now I'm going to turn down to Stanley Street, as you can see the sign there. Now that big building there, that's where the club was I mentioned. Now, like I said, I think it was called the Excelsior, but if anybody knows any other name that it was called previous, that'd be great. You can put them in the comments below. So let's keep going a bit further. Okay, so also marked on this 1933 map was another club, which is somewhere in this area here where this wall and that is, and the hire place for the cars. Or maybe it was a bit further up, I don't know, but that's where it was. Maybe it was where the JW place is over there. You can see that black roof, but yeah, it was on there. So I honestly don't know the name of that one. That's wasn't live, but if anybody does know, it'd be great. You know, it'd be great to find out exactly what it was. But like I say, approximately in this area here. Okay, so I'm coming up to the park, which is at the end of Grafton Street and Ilder Street. Now I'll turn this camera around. As you can see, it's a bit of a park. There's things on there, kids go on there, you walk your dog and that. But believe it or not, on here, and I'll go and make sure I'm on the right side of this, used to be two streets. One called Pelham Street and the other one Arlington Street. Obviously Victor Street running along there, as you can see. Okay, so also next to Arlington Street, roughly that area there, where I'm pointing now, used to be a Methodist church, and also next to it a Sunday school, but as you can see, totally re-landscaped. And Bedford Street is it's moved slightly, let's say, just a little bit, not much, because all this here was houses. As you can see, it isn't anymore. But yeah, that's where they were. So let's move a bit further on. Okay, so there must be some of you out there that watches my videos that probably know these two streets, Arlington and Pelham. And there's also another one called Guildford Street, which is in that direction over there, which we're going to have a look shortly. Okay, so I mean, it was obviously during the wartime, and I don't know when it was knocked down, probably early 60s when redevelopment started everywhere near enough. And it was probably built mid-1800s, late 1800s, I'm not sure. But I do know on the West Marsh, they started building really big in 1882. So obviously this been nearer to the docks, I would have thought would have been earlier. So let's move on a bit. Okay, so I'm currently stood on John Street, as you can see the sign up there. I've turned the camera around. This used to be the ice house up there, and it's still used today's various things. I mean, it's, I know, a place of worship, nursery, obviously the Casablanca's the other side as well. So it's quite a big building, so it's still in use today. So let's move a bit further down. Okay, so running alongside St John Street was Wade Avenue. Yeah, and then next to that, behind, if I'm pointing the camera, behind the ice house there was another street called Brenton Avenue. Have I just said that right? Yeah, Benton, sorry, not Brenton, Benton Avenue. Crikey, get it right. Yeah, as you can see, it's currently got buildings on it, which is that one there, that big building there. That's currently on roughly where Benton Avenue was, and they all ran off at Oak Street, which is over in that direction, which we're going to take a look shortly. So let's carry on. Okay, so we're now heading towards Oak Street, which is in that direction. I have done Oak Street before on a previous video, but you always find something new when you do your research, and there's always something new to find. But yeah, Oak Street's obviously kept its name, but obviously it was knocked down, all flattened. There's one or two buildings that are still there, which I have done, like I said, in a previous video. But what I found was, further up, probably in that direction there, obviously on Oak Street, was a fish curing plant. Now, I only just saw that today on, like I said, 1933 maps. Fantastic. I never knew that was there, but you can imagine them, yeah, well, it smell a bit maybe, but curing is smoke, so I wouldn't have thought so. Nah, it always smoking, so it'd be a smokehouse, so that's obviously what curing means. So let's carry on in that direction. Okay, so now I'm going to head out onto Victor Street. I'm going to show you the place where St Anthony's Orphanage was. Now, I do know after that closed, it was a carpet shop, as I've seen a picture, but anything in between that, I'm not entirely sure. As usual, you know, in the thing below. So let's carry on. I'll just turn the camera around, and we're going down there, that way. So let's move on. Okay, so we're coming up now to where this St Anthony's Orphanage was. It's now, I don't know what it is, I'll look at the sign in a minute, I've forgotten what it was. But I will turn the camera around in a minute. I'm just going to have to walk past to this van parked here. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Yeah, and that exit spot there, where that building is where the orphanage was. Now, I have seen a picture of it being a carpet place, and I have seen inside it as well what people have put on, but obviously it's all copyrights, this, that and the other. Oh, it's a Sure Start, that's right. It's a Sure Start place for kids centre, so yeah, that's where it stood. It was a massive place from what the pictures I've seen anyway, really big. Okay, so this street we're on now, just pointing the camera down that way, was called Cope Street. Now, down here there was two schools. Obviously the one in front of me there is on Whalesby Street, and there was another one across the road from it. So there was two down here, two actual schools. Yeah, and obviously, you know, across the road where them new thingies are just there. That's where it says on the maps here it is. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I didn't know that till today. So, well, yeah, these two schools are between Hilliard Street and Whalesby Street, which obviously that one there still stands today, the other one's flattened as per usual on any place around here. So there's another street as well, which is roughly where I'm walking now. It's called something Drive, is it? It's called Guildford Street. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's it. Yes, it is. There's Guildford Street. Yeah, so it ran down there, and from that way, that was originally Guildford Street up there, and it ran straight down there, which is where I'm going to walk now, down this way. Okay, so Guildford Street ran all the way from Wellington Street and all the way down to Oxford Street there. Like I was just saying, Wellington Street is straight through there, where you can see the houses right at the back there on the camera. But yeah, that's how far that was. That's quite a long street. Okay, so I'm now standing on, well, still Whalesby Street, which used to run straight through this school, and obviously does carry on through there, but you can see this is where it ran, where this bit of road is there. Now you can see down here is original curbstones as well, but yeah, Whalesby Street right from up there and way back that way, because it was one of the longest streets in Grimsby, I believe. But as you can see, obviously this building was here then, I know that. Obviously all these have all been gone, they're all whatever they are, flats, houses and things, but yeah, that's where it originally ran, all the way down there. And like I said, there's a little bit left, but you can tell where it was, so let's move on. Okay, so I've just come out of a street over the road there, Bath Street, in that direction there. Now we're going to look down here at Strand Street. Now I have covered this before on a previous video, obviously about that school up there and its playground on top of it, but that's not what we're coming down here for. I found out an interesting fact as I'm about to tell you, which I cannot believe. So, okay, let's get on with it. Okay, so Strand Street remains with us, and it was in the same area as Lockhill to Cleethorpes, which was ashore over 100 years ago. Imagine that. So this was the shoreline 100 years ago. Obviously Lockhill's in that direction there where I'm pointing the camera, and I've done the Albion before, but yeah. Wow, I never knew that. So over 100 years ago, it would be stood on the shoreline down here. Well, we're getting a bit wet. But yeah, that's an incredible fact. I really didn't know that. And some things you find, like I say, you do research and you come across these things. And obviously I've done this bit before, saying about Bridge Street and the East Marsh drain and that lot going across here, but yeah. Okay, so in 1872, this used to be known as Bath Street as well, which I've just shown you, which is amazing, but it's obviously called Strand Street now. See, the things you find out, obviously these names change over the times, but yeah, I've just recently just read that. So there you go, Bath Street, which is what I've just shown you in that direction there, through these trees. And this is Strand Street, what I'm walking on. Okay, so we've come to the end of another streets video. And I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'd like to thank all my new subscribers and all the new people that are watching my content. Thank you very much. It all helps. Just give me them thumbs and everything else. It helps the channel. And I'll just say a quick hello to the two children I met in the street down Oxford Street that was talking to me. They watch all my stuff, so that's really great. So anyway, we'll see you next time on the next video. Bye for now.